Hey families, it's Miss Hamilton, and I hope everyone is well and in good spirits. While we are out of school, I still plan to give you quality instruction. I will be providing culinary arts courses and recipes. Some of these, at least one, maybe two of these recipes that I'll be providing, my students have done in culinary arts, so shout out to my culinary art kids at STEAM at Dr. King. I also will do a recipe from my Lincoln Middle School days. Shout out to you guys as well. There will be about maybe one recipe in there that we have not done yet. So for my culinary art kids who've had this experience, go ahead and really help your parents out, your siblings out, the families out, right, as you walk them through this with me. Because you've been there and you've done it, and so you know the expectations. One of the first things that we're going to do, as we know, is we've got to wash these hands. And with this virus going around and just in general, right, you have to wash your hands. That should be obvious. If it's not, wash your hands. Let me say it again. Wash your hands. One of the first things in my culinary art classes that we do is I teach them how to properly wash their hands. And most of the kids come in and they're like, Miss Hamilton, you teaching us how to wash our hands? Yes, I am, because many of you are doing it wrong. This technique that I basically learned when I was in a medical assistant course. I basically follow the steps. Even if I do the steps out of order, I still follow all the steps. I heard now that people are singing happy birthday, maybe twinkle twinkle little star. So everybody has their method, but follow me and I'll show you how I have taught my kids how to wash their hands. I am now entering my bathroom and I have my son here. Where are you at, son? Come on over. Say hello.
Hey.
Many of you have spoken to my son before, or at least you know who he is, and we're going to properly wash our hands. So, give me a second. All right, so my people, I am in my bathroom, and this is basically the process that I use. Like I said, some people have taught them how to do different methods, but I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to get 3 pumps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A lot of people don't get in between those cracks. The nails. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Get those wrists. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm now going to rinse. My hands are downward at all times. Get all the stuff and the germs inside the water. Normally, if I'm in school, I would already have my paper towel out to go ahead and turn the faucet handles off, but since I'm at home, and then like I said, whether you have paper towels or a towel that I'm using right now, and then you're all done. Hello? Okay, so my family, welcome back. We just washed our hands. Your hands should be nice and clean. If you noticed, I got in between those nails. Again, a lot of people don't focus on it. They do all that washing and nails are filthy, right? So when you're doing any type of cooking and you're kneading the dough and you're doing all this touching, right? You basically want to make sure you have clean nails. So let me just basically show you the ingredients that we are going to use. Super simple and inexpensive. Later on, I will leave you the store that I got these things from and the price, okay? So let's go from there. So son, go ahead and pass me the pie crust. So this is the pie crust that we use. I usually get these from Aldi's. There are 2 in here, and they could be anywhere between like 99 cents, 89 cents if they have a sale, up until about $1.79, okay? There's 2 pie crusts in here, so this is perfect, okay? Very inexpensive. Go ahead and pass me the strawberries. So my culinary art kids have made so many different flavors. They even got them very adventurous this last time. They did a lot of tropical ones and mango and pineapple. But one of the I think the hottest flavor I think that people even buy in the stores are really strawberry. So I was asked my son, I'll let you choose. And of course, what did he choose? Strawberry.
Yeah.
Strawberry, okay? Yeah. So we got our strawberries here. Again, another Aldi's classic. I love these. I buy these all the time because I make a lot of fruit and veggie drinks. And so you get these from Aldi's, and I'm not exactly sure of the price. I will find out the exact price for you, but I know this bag here was less than $2. Might have been $1.89, but a really great price, okay? So thank you for that. Last thing, get that powdered sugar out. We, my family, will use the powdered sugar for multiple things. So what we can do is we can use this as a thickener when we are actually making the filling, and we can also use this for the glaze. And so he might want to make strawberry glaze, which is going to be super simple, and we'll just use some of the liquid from the filling. And like I said, so we can use the thickener as well, okay? So what I am going to do, and also, son, can you go over there and give me the honey, and then also give me the agave? Because those are two other options. I really have not purchased sugar in a very long time, except for maybe in one of my classes, I ended up making them some sugar cookies just for a treat. And then I ended up using sugar. But other than that, I haven't actually bought sugar to use in several years. So again, you can go with the agave. I'm sorry, the honey. This is organic honey, again, from Aldi's, a winner. Again, I'm not sure about how much this is, but I can find out for you. I want to say it was between $2 and $3, not much. Organic honey. This is wildflower honey. You can use this as a sweetener for the strawberries. And again, if you don't even want the strawberries to be sweetened, you don't have to have them sweetened, right? Because they're strawberries. And also, don't forget, if you're putting that glaze on, you can actually forgo it, okay? The agave. The agave is my jam. I use this all the time. I put the kids onto it, so I might make a limeade, a lemonade, a homemade fruit juice. This is my go-to. I use it all the time. If I'm drinking, let's say, a black coffee, then you put a little drop of this in, and I'm telling you, you get your whole life on this. So I rock with the agave hardcore. Today, though, I'm not going to use any of these, only because I'm going to choose to use a little bit of the powdered sugar just to get those strawberries a little thicker like I want them. Okay? So those are the ingredients that you need, and we'll be right back. Okay, my peeps, we are back, and so what we have done right now, the powdered sugar you just saw, I just poured it into my canisters that I usually keep it in. Canister is right here, okay, so go ahead and get the 1/4 cup. And the only reason why I'm not going to actually use a 1/4 cup of this powdered sugar as a thickener in a mild sweetener, this is just really so you can gauge how much I'm using, okay? So son, go ahead and go ahead. Yeah, and if you can see, careful, scooch back some, honey. Okay, so he is basically just, yeah, and you can go ahead and fill that right up and just make sure it's nice and flat. Again, family, this is like a great way, yeah, to do this with the kids. Bam, yeah, make sure it's nice and flat. That's good, okay? So he's got about a 1/4 cup there. He's gonna leave that right on the counter. Go ahead and put it right on the counter, honey. Right now, as a parent, also, let me stress this, right? You are not doing any cooking unless there is an adult around. You understand? An adult that has given you permission to do so. But the whole point of these videos was to really have this family engagement piece, which is why I have my girl, Miss Bembry, who takes care of the family engagement side of things. And that's what this really is, family engagement. So it's one thing for the kids to know how to do things right, but it's another thing for us to do things together as a family, okay? So again, do not do anything, kids, without an adult. I cannot stress that enough. What I'm going to do, because I am home, is that I am going to we're going to take the strawberries and we're going to actually heat these up in a pot, pan, whatever you choose to use. You use whatever you want. Also, even in class, there's sometimes where we are very short of time, and so we just use the microwave. And so whatever you want to do, if you have a microwavable safe bowl, pour some of these in. You don't even have to add liquid to it, because obviously water and vegetables are made up of lots of water. It's going to soften it, and then you can do the exact same thing. So it's up to you what you choose to do. You might just decide, you know what, I'm not putting it on the stove. I'm going to put these in the microwave, okay? And that's okay. There's not going to be any difference, okay? Again, because I'm home, I'm going to actually put these in the pot. You ready, my boo?
Yes.
All right, let's go. Okay, so again, I'm not going to turn the stove on, though, until he has actually poured some. So he is going to go ahead, honey, and pour about half that bag into the pot. Again, his hands have already been thoroughly washed and washed and washed and watched by me. Okay? You have about half a bag, honey? Okay, let's see. Okay, good. And so now he's got about half a bag here that we use. And again, if you have a lot of kids in the household, you can use more, right? It's up to your discretion what you want to use. You might not want to use all of them in the first bake, as we call it in class. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to turn this on. And my people, I'm just going to have this on about medium-low. Yep, only an adult is to turn the oven on, turn the stove on. And listen, and I'm saying this because even though as a child I started cooking young, I don't know what the guidelines are in your household. So for my own sake, in your own safety, do not use the oven unless there is an adult around. Especially when you can do it the exact same way using the microwave, okay? So again, my boy knows that he is not to use the oven, right? He does not use the oven. Now, he can microwave something up, but the oven is a no-go, okay? So, my people, once these sort of soften up a little bit, because right now all it's doing is simmering, I'm going to go ahead and cover those up, let them simmer down. We'll come back to you after that. And that's it. And then we'll go ahead and we'll add a little bit of thickener to it. And then I will see you then. Bye.
Bye.
Hey guys, just to fill you in, so what I've done in this little short period of time is I've added approximately a quarter cup, maybe even a little bit less to that, just to, like I said, sort of get that liquid going. It's already smelling really good. So again, if this is in the microwave, then you probably would put it on for, I don't know, let's say start it with 2 minutes. I would just keep checking it. But like I said, because mine are on the stove, I didn't put any liquid in it first. I just sort of let them cook a little bit for just about a minute or so. And then I just added a little less than a quarter cup of water just to, like I said, go ahead and soften it all up, okay? So we'll be right back. During the downtime, my people, my boy is just working on something. So that's how he is passing the time. Hi, boo-boo.
Hello.
Okay, my people, we're back. And so if you go ahead and look up in the pot, so we've got it. This is how it is. It's nice and thick at this point in the game, okay? Again, we used about a quarter cup. Actually, we used half of a quarter cup of the powdered sugar. It thickens it up nicely. It smells delicious. We're going to go ahead and put this in the refrigerator. Actually, we're going to put this in the freezer. Every 5 minutes, you want to go ahead and check this and just sort of stir it just so it gets all the steam out, okay? For those of you who, after you put this in the refrigerator or the freezer, you guys can actually go ahead while you're waiting and start to make the glaze or the frosting for it. And again, if you did not put that strawberry juice in the refrigerator already, it's not a big deal because that's something we could actually do when it's hot. It's not a big deal, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and put this in the freezer, and I'm going to keep coming back and checking on it, and then we'll actually go ahead and start to make the glaze. Hey family, we are back. We have our cooled filling. We have our foil lined pan. It just makes it easier for cleanup. We've got our crust. And my people, the reason why I'm going to open it in front of you guys just to show you, but I already have one that I've already opened. Okay. And this is what it's basically going to look like, okay, when you take it out. And you're just going to unroll it. You just unroll it. Be gentle at first, right? And it's a nice size round, okay? So son, I'm going to go ahead and put this over here by you, okay? And then we're going to go ahead and move on now, people. Again, this is for the adults, right? Even for the kiddos. If you guys have any plastic knives, you can use those as well, okay? So I've got my little sharp knife here. And what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to go ahead and cut the edges off of this, okay? Not so much cut the edges off, but where it's round, because I really want to just have a nice square at the end, okay? So I am going to go ahead and I'm just going to slice one way. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. And at the end of that, my people, right, these little ends right here are off now. And I'm just going to set these to the side, okay? Even in class, what a lot of times we do is once you end up having these scraps, especially you should have 4 of these because you have 2 pie crusts. And then we usually just mush them together, re-roll up the dough. Again, you're at home, you really don't need to do all of that. We can just actually keep these pieces and make little ones with these, okay? Again, after we did that, I am going to then cut the dough again. So right now, it should sort of look like this, okay? I am going to go ahead and I am going to cut this into about even sections of, I would say, 3. Okay, so I'm going to make this, here's 1, okay? And then I am going to do this one.
Yeah.
Okay?
3.
Bam. And then what I'm going to do is, my people, I'm just going to put one to the side. You want to wash your hands again? Okay? And so what I'm going to do, my people, is right now I'm going to have a piece that's about this size. And you can make these as big or as small as you want. You can make them like a life size or a real Pop-Tart. You can do them a little smaller. You do what you want to do with them. So, but I'm going to have mine about this size, okay? And then I'm just going to go ahead, and again, my students know, right? I've got a nice little spoon right here, and I am not going to put dough. I'm not going to fill it with dough, right? I'm only going to use about half of this pie shell or pastry crust, and I'm going to put about a spoonful, depending on how it is, and I'm going to be sure to stay away from those edges. About a ½ inch of those edges, I am not going to put any filling, because when I fold it and then we press the edges down, if you have too much filling, it's just basically going to spill out, right? And then it's going to cause it to sort of be leaky, and it probably will burst and you'll have a lot of your filling in the pan and not in your stomach, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead, and my son is gonna help me out with this in a minute, but I'm gonna go ahead and show you first. So I've got my filling here. I am going to get about a spoonful right here. Put it right where I told you I'm gonna put it, and that's only about a spoon, okay? Which looks pretty good to me. I might go ahead and get a little cute, honey, and get me a little bit more in here. Bam, okay? And if you can see about how much I've done, that'll work for now, okay? Now what I'm gonna do, my people, is I'm just gonna fold it right over. So what I'm gonna do is first, I'm gonna fold it over this way, okay? I put it right to the other end, and then I'm gonna go from the bottom, and I just like to press it with my finger. Now again, if you want to get cute, you can go ahead and you can use a fork, but I just think this is a good way for me to gauge. I am not going to go around. What I like to do, and this is just me, is I'm going to do the other end, okay? I'm going to do the same thing to the other side. I think that I do that just because if there's any spillage out of it, it's just sort of easy to see now. And then I can also sort of gauge if there's any going to come out of this open flap here, which I'm going to work on right now. And again, if you wanted to, you could use your fork and you can just go ahead and press those edges down. I mean, it does make it look nice, but for some reason, I just think that when you do it with your finger, it just is sort of nice and secure. So if you wanted to do that, what I would recommend is that you do it with your finger first, just so you know that all those edges are closed. And then you want it to be cutesy, then you can go ahead and then do it with a fork if you just wanted that shape, okay? And so I'm pretty much done. I've got a little imperfection right here, which I'm going to cut right off there. Done. And so, boom, there you have it. What I like to do, too, is take my sharp knife, again, not for you kids, right, but for the families, and I'm going to sort of lift this right up, okay? So I can then show you how it's looking. Bam. So now you've got your first homemade Pop-Tart, okay? And I'm going to go ahead and sit this right in my pan. And we're ready to go on, and we can continue to do this process until we are done, okay? I'm going to basically show you guys with my son doing some, and then we're going to do the rest, and we'll go from there, okay? You ready, my boy?
Yep.
Alrighty. So, first step, and I'm going to move over some, hun, so you can get your little shine in here. You don't even have to move over anymore. Mommy's going to turn it towards you some. Okay, you ready? So I've already got it for you.
Yeah.
Bam.
Yeah.
Okay, and so what you're going to do is, don't forget what I said.
Yeah.
Do not go, well, you know, we've done this before, okay? So here you go.
Don't put too much.
Right.
Put a good amount.
You get about a spoonful. That's stingy. Okay, that's good. And where are you going to put it? Right about here?
Yeah.
Yep, right about there. Good.
And then fold it edge to
Well,
edge.
I would do a little bit more, and then, yep, good.
A little bit, like this much.
Oh, okay, you're being stingy with it, boo, but it's all right. It's all right. All right.
Don't be too stingy.
You're right. True indeed. True indeed. Okay. Good. 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 Okay.
Okay, now I
And
fold
then-
it edge to edge.
Yep. And yep. If I were you, I would start this way because this right,
Okay. Yeah.
and go all the way to that other edge. Good job. Okay. Now where are you gonna go now?
Here.
Yep. But one at a time. Go one side at a time. Good. Good. You see how he's doing that, guys? He's doing a great job. He listens. He follows directions. And remember, mommy didn't do it that way, right? And again, you can do it that way, guys, if you want to. You're going to do it the way you want to do it. I went from here to here, there to there, and then there to there. But again, you do it how you want to do it. That's his right there. And this doesn't have to be because this was already closed, remember? But again, if you want it, I see what you're doing. You're trying to give it that real Pop-Tart feel there. I see you, son. I see you. Okay, and then, yep. Oh, and now he's going, and I would close this up a little bit more, honey, before you get to doing that. So you see, guys, he likes to be bougie with twine, okay? He likes to be bougie. And now he is going to go ahead and get his fork lifestyle on. And if you're going to do it, honey, go ahead and let mom show you. Look at this. You're just going to sort of see how I'm just, bam, pressing it down just like this. Okay, you go ahead and do the same thing. And again, he actually just told me to tell you guys no eating of the product. But guess what this little guy's doing? He just tasted some because that's what kids do.
Before you make it.
Okay. And make sure it's going all the way down, right? Yeah. You don't have to put too much pressure, and if you're going to put the pressure, you sort of just put it, just, see how I'm doing that?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, do it again. Okay. Okay, and you don't want it to go all the way down though, honey, because, okay, good, good. So he thinks he's a whole chef. He's my sous chef. My culinary art kid, shout out to you. I know you know exactly what that means.
Basically a backup chef.
Assistant chef.
Yeah.
They're just fancy when they say sous chef. And if I were you, I'd get this little edge right here. Okay, and if mommy can just feel that and make sure it's completely closed. Okay. Okay, my people. And so he's got his. I'm going to go ahead as the adult here, and I'm going to use that knife or whatever else that you have is sharp, my people, just to sort of get it off of whatever surface you're working on. I'm working on my clean table. I will show you guys what his is looking like. Okay, he's got a little spillage right here, but it's not a big deal because we ended up closing it at the end. So if you just, it looks really great. Okay, we're gonna put that one on, and then we're just gonna keep on going, guys. So hopefully you guys have enough to have almost everybody in the family be able to make at least one or two. We've already got 2 done. We still have a whole nother piece here. We still have a whole nother pie crust, and we still have those edges. So we're probably going to easily get what, 3, 6, I would say 6 nice size ones, and then I would think about 4 sort of little triangular ones. So we will be right back, because teamwork
makes the dream work.
Bam. Okay, so my people, we have done 6 nice size ones there. And if you see, sometimes there's a little bit of a spillage, but it's not a big deal. These are completely closed. Going to be delicious nonetheless. And so we're going to go ahead and put these in the oven. The half a bag, and we probably even did a little bit less than a half a bag. And pause that call. We did a little bit more, less than a half the bag. But like I said, so as you've seen, it makes 6 nice size ones. So the little scraps that we had, those 4 scraps, we still have those. We'll use those at a later date. We're going to put those in the oven. It's already at 350. You ready, my little schnugger booger?
Yeah.
Hey family, we're back, and if you guys are done, we bake these for about, I don't know, depending on your oven, maybe 10 to 15 minutes, maybe less. You just have to keep watching. I keep checking every few minutes or so. Some of them, obviously, we have a little bit of leakage, but that's always okay. Again, these are homemade. This is not perfection, but they are going to be delicious, right? So we just want to minimize, and each time you do this, will get better and better. We are going to go ahead and start to glaze. I went ahead and whipped up another glaze. The other one was really good, and it was really strawberry-y, right? Had a really great strawberry flavor. But because we were trying to make it thicker and continue to add that powdered sugar, it definitely was super sweet. So what you can do is actually make your glaze first, like I've done here. Made a nice little glaze, right? And we're going to use this as well. And then what you want to do is probably make this first. And if you want to add the strawberry or whatever fruit that you use, you'll just pour a little bit of that in there, okay? As opposed to just using the straight liquid, which is already going to be a little sweeter on top of more, okay? So we'll come back after we glaze these things. Hey family, we are back and we are finally done. Now, unlike us, we had to do a lot of things in different steps. Normally, if you guys are just making these, it probably would take you about 15-20 minutes, not really including your cook time. If you put it in the microwave, that also shortens the time down. And so again, because we ended up recording this and having to do it step by step, here is our finished product. Bam, let me get a little close up. So they are looking quite delicious, and of course my son had the brilliant idea to sort of do half and half. As I said earlier, I decided to make just the white glaze because again, with just using the liquid from the strawberries, because it already had powdered sugar in it, we added more, it made it way too sweet. So I would nix that out. What I would do is I would just use your powdered sugar to make a basic glaze, which would be white, and then start to add a little bit of the liquid at a time, okay? Which is what we did here, which is why it has like a nice pink color, not that deep red that it had earlier. Okay, so what we are going to do, like any cooking show does, we have to at least take a bite to see how it is. Son, are you ready?
Yeah.
All right, so you might as well go ahead and get one. And also, if you see here too, I'm just going to show you, I made one almost like a toaster strudel, okay? And then, of course, I made some also more like the classic Pop-Tart, okay? And so again, the sprinkles, I got those from, I don't remember, but some grocery store. You can get rainbow sprinkles from anywhere, okay? And you don't need the sprinkles as well, right? That was just an extra little touch that we put on to make them authentic. So I know my boy is ready for me to be quiet and for us to dig in, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so I am going to get a bite of this delicious one right here. Cheers, son. Thank you for helping me today. You were wonderful. So, the strawberry was such a good flavor. I mean, it was such a good choice. Guys, it's really fresh. It's delicious. I'm not just saying that. It really is. And again, my people, we can have these for breakfast. We can have them for a snack, right? You can make a lot of these at one time, freeze them. So all you have to do is sort of put them in the microwave or let them sit out. You can make them and not cook them yet, right? If you want to, let's say, have dinner or you just want them fresh out of the oven, make them, freeze them, put them over some saran wrap or foil, whatever it is that you do. And then break them out whenever you're ready to, okay? But these were such an inexpensive thing. We ended up making 8 out of the half bag of strawberries. It was about $2. So you might as well say we used about $1 worth of strawberries. We used a box of the pastry dough. We still have scraps left, like I said, because we decided to use the half a bag of strawberries. But we were still able to make 8. And these are pretty nice size, guys, if you see. These are a good size. And so for the amount of, what was it? Oh, the pastry dough. Those were anywhere probably between $1.29 and I don't even think they were $1.79. Let's just round it off to about $1.50. And then you still have extra for another time. So let's say $1.50. Let's say the dollar for about the bag of, half a bag of strawberries we use. It's already at $2.50. After that, all we used was powdered sugar, right? And then of course the sprinkles. But the powdered sugar we probably use. I mean, if you get a bag, you can get them for at the Dollar Tree, to be quite honest with you. And we probably used altogether, including the glaze, maybe about, I would say about probably a little over a cup. But again, I will say that we can use less and we should use less because, again, in the way that we did it, I sort of tweaked it at the end and I made it so we didn't have to sort of do all the extras that I did earlier with thickening up that, making the pure strawberry glaze. That's not a good idea. I will say that's not a good idea. It comes out way too sweet. So what we ended up doing is we scaled back once you realize your mistake, because everything in life is trial and error, right, guys? Life, relationships, school, family, everything is trial and error. And so in this particular time, because I haven't done the strawberry before, I usually do blueberry, which is my jam, but this may be one of my new favorites, to be quite honest. What I would do is, again, use about maybe a half a cup of powdered sugar for the glaze, add just a little bit of liquid, right? And you're just going to add a little bit at a time. You don't want to overdo it, a little bit at a time until it comes out a glaze consistency. And then the strawberry liquid that you already had set to the side, that little bit that you just had, start putting it by the spoonful in there and stir it up until you get the consistency and the flavor and the taste that you want. That is the better way to go. And when you do it like that, including the powdered sugar that was inside the strawberries and the powdered sugar that you will use for the glaze, you might as well say you could easily get away with using about, I would say, a half a cup, maybe 3/4 cup. Most, right? So even with that being said, this whole thing probably would cost you about, if we were to do them individually, easily less than $3, okay? And if you were to do this, like I said, and let's say again, we were to actually use the whole bag of strawberries, right? We were to use, let's say, 2 boxes of dough, we still would be, including the powdered sugar, we'd be under $5 for about 12, right? For about 12 Pop-Tarts. And that's not even including, again, those edges that we didn't even get to make because we didn't, make enough filling. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this. This was the first episode with my boy who was the best help. Guys, this is what we're talking about, families, is getting those children involved. This is the quality time, because even if now he goes and he plays and he does whatever it is that kids do, right? We've had plenty of quality time today and a great snack for it. And so I think I'm going to keep that little glaze. It looks like a toaster strudel for the morning. But again, thank you guys for tuning in. Watch us next time. And the sprinkles, guys, again, you guys can get from anywhere. So again, this was so good. I didn't plan to have me another little bite, but again, to you, Sonny boy. So good.